Hello there everybody, this is General Snivy and welcome back to more Let's Play The Last Remnant. Today we're going to be taking on the next side quest that is right before us. Reason? Because side quests are awesome. So, in this side quest, what we're going to be doing today, we're actually going to be going to go and explore a little cave. Reason is because one of Pags' old friends, whose name I can't really say, is it Seabal or Seabal? I don't know. Anyways, he claims to know, he claims to have seen a special kind of remnant that can grant miracles and stuff. And this thing is, wait for it, what is it? Okay, get on with it. Could be a good point, because if you stay underground for too long, you could possibly go through hallucinations and stuff. I mean, it's the same sort of ordeal when it comes to the desert as well, and all that. When you're traversing and you don't really have any water on you whatsoever, you start seeing mirages and hallucinations. It's a little thing that can actually happen to the brain. I never experienced this because I've never been through such scenarios, but I'm just saying, it can happen. And I never even got to read what the actual remnant is called. Dang it. Oh wow. Anyways, welcome to the next dungeon. This dungeon is one of several dungeons within this sort. Blah. This is a special kind of dungeon. It is known as the Fifth Path. For what I know, I think there are 7 paths that are all underground chasms that connect at different points within the world of the last remnant. Within these underground passageways, you can get from one nation to another within a certain amount of time, and it beats having to traverse through the surface of the world, if you can catch my drift. At least that's from what I can pull out of my butt and from sheer guessing. Now let's talk about the Fifth Path. In the Fifth Path, we have these enemies known as were-dragon. Yeah, that is what it's called, I think, a were-dragon. It doesn't look like a dragon, yet it is. What, are we bringing Pokemon logic into this now? Now, what can I say about were-dragons? Gang up on it and you can take it down relatively easily. For the most part. However, you should still treat them as pretty dangerous enemies, especially for the sheer fact that they have the ability to use merry-go-round, which attacks multiple unions. Well, no, it actually attacks everyone within the union, and it's really hard to avoid and it causes a lot of damage. Now for the next set of enemies, and probably the last set of enemies we really have to fight in here other than the boss, is the killer insects. The killer insects, from what I know, they act just like everyone else in their family. They do the same attacks, and they're actually more powerful. They're more powerful than their previous counterparts, that much I know. So basically, it's a reskin and a recolor. Kinda reminds you of something else from Call of Duty. So, same strategy applies, just nail them with everything that you got. Just don't encounter too many at once, and you should be okay. And watch out for the fact that they do have a bit more of a tendency to use layout. Something like that. Yeah, I think it is layout. And they do have a blah. I'm repeating myself again. Alright, now onward with today's topics. Well, the first thing I'm going to talk about is I've recently picked up a new seat cushion for my chair. Again, my chair is not a computer chair, it's just a standard little fold-out chair you can pick up at Walmart for about 20 bucks. Nothing really special. So, the cushion I got, I think it is known as the Forever Comfy. It's a nice little cushion. It's definitely more comfortable than what I have been using. And what I was using previously was like one of my older pillows, which are flat as a freaking pancake now. But the seat cushion, for what I know, it works. It was only 20 bucks, so I figured why not give myself a more comfortable experience. I mean, it's just two foam and gel cushions squished together in a little sandwich-like fashion. It's nice. It feels nice. More comfortable, I can sit down for a longer period of time, but still not as comfortable as my computer chair. Man, I miss it. I miss it so much. Excuse me. Alright, now that the killer insects are dead, we can now proceed onward. If that wasn't freaking obvious. So we are going to be exploring this place quite a bit. And hello, what is going on here? Seems that Maddox and the other guy decide to sneak in behind us. Apparently they're worried about Pagus and they think that he really shouldn't go in alone. I mean, he's not alone technically because he's got me, Lord David, and pretty much everyone else. But still, story-driven wise, he is kind of alone, except he's with us. I don't know how to explain it. It's pretty difficult to explain. Since this video is being released sometime in December and I'm recording this in November of the 16th, both the next generation consoles should have been released by now, both the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. What do I think about the both of them? Both of them look really impressive, to an extent. I do like them. They look nice. But which one do I like better? I really don't know at the moment, but I feel like PS4 is the better console. At least in my opinion, and that is as of right now. However, my opinion can change in the future. I feel like PS4 is definitely going to have better exclusives, and really it's going to have better games in the long run as opposed to the Xbox One. But that's just my opinion. Both are nice looking, sure, but PS4 is still going to freaking win. And it's cheaper too. Like $100 cheaper. Alright, now for the next set of enemies we have in here. Remember these guys? We fought them back in Newmore Mines? Well, we fought one of their cousins. This is the Dagoon. Oh, excuse me. Or are they called... Yeah, Dagon, or something. Basically, these guys, they're a bit of a pushover, but again, approach with caution, and they shouldn't be too much to take down. They do have a bit of a tendency to use the ability known as Whale, and what that does, I think it causes paralysis and seals your combat arts, and also deals damage too to multiple unions. So keep this in mind when facing them and keeping your unions all bunched up together in a frickin' Katamari-like fashion, wailing on the enemy one by one. So what do I think about the fifth path in general in this dungeon? It's a cave. Nothing really special here. It is a nice little cave that connects from one nation to another and it's infested with a good number of enemies. But still, it may be big, but thankfully it's not too big. We'll be getting to the more larger scale dungeons much later in the game. Trust me, it's gonna be quite a ride. And with that, we're finished one section of the fifth path. Now we can move on to the next one. Blech. So basically now we're just going to be exploring the rest of the fifth path because I want to. I want to fight as many enemies as possible and get all the treasures. Because I like treasures. Treasures are fun. They're nice and pretty. They make you happy. Because money makes the world to go around and around and around and around. Around here, around here, around here. Okay, onward to the next topic. As you should know, my winter update video is going to be coming soon. Since this video is being released in December, that means my winter update video is going to be just around the corner. Not exactly sure when the video will be released, but it will be released sometime soon. When do I have planned? Well, that will be something you'll have to wait to find out. And I don't think those were even the right words. Whoops. You may also be wondering, why am I not so enthusiastic today? Well, because I'm tired, my butt's starting to hurt. I mean, I've been sitting here for a little while now. And really, that's about it. Kinda in pain. And I couldn't really come up with much anything to talk about, and that is pretty irritating. That makes me really sad. Now for this door. You may be thinking this leads to the boss of who we need to face in order to complete this side quest. Well, no, that's not the case. This path is actually completely optional. And another thing, this will actually give us a glimpse or a preview, for say, of what's yet to come towards the very end of the game. This area is known as the Final Fortress. The Final Fortress really isn't much. It's just one linear path, and there are two ledges up on the side of this here machine. This machine, well, let's just say this. We're most likely going to be fighting that thing and tearing it apart later. Much later. How much later? A good bit later. Don't know how much later, but there's only really one only one real way to find out, and that is to wait and see. Now that we're finished exploring the Final Fortress of what we could explore, we now have to head back to the fifth path and continue our way forward in order to complete this side quest. Another spray, and what do we have? A charm aura. I never really explained what the charm aura does. The charm aura it works like this. Whenever you would get near an enemy, it would normally try to come and attack you, but with the charm aura, that's not the case. It'll attract the enemies, and I think they'll follow you around without you having to piss them off and have them run after you. And when the charm aura wears off, well, then that's when you're going to be in a boatload of trouble depending on how many enemies you attracted. Now we have the boss, and it's a freaking dragon. And also, our friends decide to join us for the party. And when I first got here, I was really surprised that I had such a high morale. Don't know how it happened, but it happened. And we're going to take really good advantage of this, so let's get started.
I'm gonna destroy you.
Let's talk about the Ancient Dragon. The Ancient Dragon is a very powerful and formidable enemy, as with any other dragon of which we've faced so far. Don't take the Ancient Dragon lightly, because it can be really dangerous. Especially with the blaster attack, it is really powerful. However, I didn't really prove that due to the fact that I had such a high morale. It's always a good idea to have a high morale, it really is. Did I ever explain what ASUeK does? In case I didn't, I'll go ahead and explain it. ASUeK is what it sounds like. It is that. It hits one friendly unit or union, whatever, and it drains their freaking AP down to 0. And it stays that way for the turn. However, after the turn ends, their AP is restored. The Ancient Dragon, another thing with it, is that it has really high HP as expected for bosses. And one more thing I forgot to mention with the Ancient Dragon as well is if you manage to defeat this in the Xbox 360 version of the game, you actually get an achievement. Really, you get an achievement for defeating the Ancient Dragon. But if you're playing the PC version and playing this off of Steam, well, that's not the case. I don't think they have achievements, or do they? I don't remember for certain, but who cares? There is moral achievements, and this is one of them. Not really much to say here. And there's not really much I can say about the Ancient Dragon other than the fact that it can be difficult to take down unless you have a high morale. So, abilities such as Bluff and Mixed Messages and Owl, they're your best friends, if you can cast them. If you can't, well, good luck. Well, I shouldn't say that. You can still win even with a low morale. I have proven that time and time again. But still, just want to put it out there. High morale, it makes things so much easier and better. But it's not a guarantee that you will actually win.
Like that, is it?
Unless you really can deal some serious damage. And that's what when the arts come in. Arts. We like arts. Arts are smart. I is so smart. Because I am so smart. I am so smart. SMRT. I mean SMRT. I really am laughing at my own jokes too much, am I? And that's the effect of Blaster. It can deal so much damage that it can actually kill someone, if you're not careful. What a hit. Well, this is what happens when the Ancient Dragon gets low on HP. It really starts dealing some crazy stuff. It really starts going on a tear. Again, you should approach it with caution, for the most part. Now on with the next topic. Okay, another thing I need to talk about. After a certain amount of time when the enemy has low HP, well, when the Ancient Dragon has low HP, it uses Desperate Wall. Desperate Wall decreases your morale quite a lot. Or quite a bit, actually. Not a lot, but still about as much as what would happen if you got hit with a raid lock. And when that happens, well, this is when the battlefield starts becoming even again. Thankfully, it's not too hard to regain your morale, just keep attacking from the sides, and also dealing certain attacks that increases morale, such as bluff and mixed messages and all that. And also using special attacks too, they help as well. And here's the real effect of the blaster. It casts poison, silence, and paralysis. Which is really unfortunate. And that was the only time when it actually happened too. It only happened once. So I guess those three effects when it comes to the blaster, it only happens every once in a while. But other times it's just really high damaging. But hey, that's just my experience. So basically, the side quest was essentially for nothing, but really it wasn't. The reason is because my voice cracking. Well, no. The real reason is because despite the fact that this was merely just an illusion, aka a freaking mirage, dang it, what was the point? Oh yeah. 3 friends came together and were on an adventure, once again, even though they haven't seen each other in so many years. So basically, despite the fact that this thing didn't actually exist, or does it? So, essentially the Remnant was real, but it wasn't at the same time. I guess that's the effect of such a powerful thing. It can really bring friends together and really just remind you of all the good times that you've had with such close friends. So essentially, friendship is freaking magic. That's the moral of the side quest. Friendship is power and magic. It's quite beautiful. End of story. And with that, the side quest is now complete. Maddox is actually recruitable, but the other guy is not. He's not recruitable yet, and I don't think we'll be able to recruit him for quite some time. But we will be able to recruit him, I think, after we get access to another special guild. And this other special guild, I'm not really going to spoil what it is due to the fact that I don't even remember the name of it. But anyways, Maddox, he is now a part of our party and a part of our family. And that's it. Well, I'm almost out of time, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. This is Snivy with Let's Play The Last Remnant. Thank you guys so much for watching, and next time, we're going to be taking on yet another side quest involving a White Quincy and a Forbidden Tome. So, see you guys then.